In this video, you are going to learn how to open buildings in Blender, similar to how LEMMINO does it in this video. And if you want to follow along, you'll have all the assets in the description for free. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's set up the 3D scene. I'm going to be working on cycles in this case. Select here experimental and GPU compute. Here in the viewport samples, I will lower it down to 60 and activate denoise and select here optics. And here in the render, I'm going to do 200 samples and with the noise activated and optics here. I'm going to activate motion blur and I'm going to set it up to 0.8, and then in the color management section I'm going to use standard and very high contrast. I do this because I actually made this scene just for the thumbnail and then I made the entire animation with these color management settings. But if you want like a more realistic result, I guess you can use AGX, but LEMMINO's videos are not actually realistic anyways, and they always use a standard or filmic, or at least they did that in the Kennedy's video. So yeah, then go here to output and I'm going to be working on a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and 24 frames per second, and this animation is going to be 300 frames long. Select here PNG, RGBA and compression down to 0, and here select an output folder where you are going to export the frames of this animation, and we will get into that at the end of the video. So now let's press Shift A, mesh plane. Let's make a plane, and it doesn't matter the size because we are going to tweak this later anyways. So now let's import the house that I left in the description. Just drag and drop. If you have Blender 4.2, import GLDF here, and the house is right there. So press 7 and G. I'm going to move this house right here, and I'm going to press 7 and enable here the X-ray view and select everything, and then right click and set origin and origin to geometry, and you have all of this. And as you can see, all of this mesh is parented to this point, so you want to do like the same here. Select everything and press Ctrl P. Just press right click and then parent and clear parent and keep transform. And now we can work with this in a better way. Let's select this plane and I'm going to scale it up a little bit more. I'm going to press 7 again and select the plane. Press G, X and Ctrl, and I'm going to move it right here. And now I'm going to enable the X-ray view and select everything. And now I'm going to elevate all of this a little bit more. And let's see, G, X, Control. Okay, so press 1, X-ray again, select everything. Yes. And now G cell, and lower this a little bit right here, and there you have it. Maybe lift this up a little bit more, and yeah, there we have it. So now this model has all these weird things, and thankfully we can just select it and delete it without problem. And now the basic science behind separating the roof from the bottom of the house is basically you want to select everything that is on top. So for example, I selected this, and as you can see, I'm going to press G, Z and Control, and I'm going to see the top left corner. It has some numbers, and I'm going to lift it until it says 7 meters, and I'm going to press left click. So now as you can see, most of the things that are on top of the house are parented, or at least share like the same properties to all of these things that are in the bottom of the house. So basically what you want to do is press, in this case for example 3, I will have like this view, then go to the X-ray view, then go to edit mode and select everything here and also right here, and you have all of this top part. And now you want to press Ctrl P, just P again, and you want to separate by selection, and now all of this is just one separate object, so you can go back to object mode and solid mode, and for example you can leave this right here, and this bottom part you can press GZ and Control again and lower it down until it says minus 7 meters on the top left. And this is basically what you have to do with every top part of the house. This is like a tedious process. I'm just going to do this again for another part of the house, but I'm going to cut all of this because you already got the point. So basically what I'm going to do is lift this up another 7 meters, pressing Control, and now I'm going to select this top part, GZ, Control again, and 7 meters, and yeah, I want to separate all of this top part. So just press 3 again, go to the X-ray view, go to edit mode and select all of this top part, and now press P and separate by selection, go back to object mode and solid mode, and this bottom part you can return it to base right here, and this you can press GZ and 7 here, and it will snap to this place. And when you do this with all of the top parts of the house, you have like all the top parts right here. I'm going to cut this process, but what I want you to do now, once you finish this, is press 1 and press X-ray view, select everything and press Ctrl J, and then select everything again, right click and set origin to geometry. And now this is just one object, and it's going to be a lot easier to animate once this is done. I want you to go to this view, to the material view, and as you can see we have all of these materials, and basically what you want to do is go here and go to the material properties and delete all the materials that you see in the house. So just delete everything, and I'm going to cut this process again. Okay, perfect. So now once you've finished deleting all the materials, what you want to do is press 7 and select the roof part and give it just a normal material, and I'm going to name this white base. And now what you want to do is go to the X-ray view and select everything, go back to the solid view and make sure the roof is like a light orange, and that means it is the main object selected. So now just press Ctrl L and link materials, and now all the objects in the scene are going to have this white base material, which is what we wanted. But for the windows, all the windows, we don't want this material, so I'm just going to delete it, select a new material, and I'm going to name this glass. Basically what you want to do is go here to the transmission and increase it to 1, and also you want to decrease the alpha to 0.3 or 0.5 maybe. So I think this is fine, and now you have like a basic glass material, and everything is just this white material, and we are going to adjust it later because probably we are going to lower, like not this, sorry, this material, we are going to lower the value so it doesn't look as white, but for now let's leave it as it is. So now let me cut to the part where I have like the full house. So yeah, now we have this house right here and the roof, which is just one thing right here, and also I have this plane, and I edited a little bit to be bigger. But yeah, now let's do this. Let's import this walking model right here. Import FBX, and as you can see, it's big, it's super big. So yeah, I want this this character to have like this pose. So you want to go to the timeline and see all the keyframes and delete them all. And now this is going to stay like this for the entire video. Now I'm going to scale it down a lot, somewhere right here. I think this is fine. GX. Basically I want to compare it to this door. So G cell and S. Yeah, I think this is a normal size human. So press R cell and I'm going to move this right here and GX and move this right here. And basically this is the point where I want this guy. I'm also going to import, oh sorry, let's work on the materials of this guy. So basically this guy has a lot of materials, and what you want to do is delete them all, delete the eyelashes and delete all of his materials like this. And once you deleted everything, you want to select one part of this guy and you want to press here new, and I'm going to name this red skin, and I'm going to change its color to red. Maybe this red not that saturated and maybe with less value, something like this. And I'm going to decrease the roughness to 0.3, and yeah, this is the material that I want. And now basically I want to give this material, the red skin, to all of his body. So let me do that very quick. So yeah, once you did that, now I want to import the other model of this guy that is sitting. So let me go sitting right here and import FBX. And yeah, we want to do the same. We want to compare the size to this guy. So let me decrease this a lot. She said S. And yeah, roughly right here. I think it's fine. So let me press 7, G, and move it roughly right here. R cell, GX, sorry, GY, GX, and let's see. So it's good. Let me see. Yep, this is what I wanted. So let me see if it has some keyframes, and it does. So let's delete all of them. And we also need to give this guy the same material as the other guy right here. So replace all the materials of his body and also delete the eyelashes with the red skin material that we did earlier. Red skin. Okay, so basically that's it. Now what we want to do is, you will like this part a lot because I also liked it. Press Shift A and mesh and plane, and now G cell, and you want this to be on the floor. So G cell roughly right here, it's fine. GY, let me go to edit mode and let's select these vertices and GX. And this also GX, and let me go to object mode and SY, and let's make it like this, GY, and yeah, this is fine. Press Ctrl A and apply all transformations and set origin to geometry, and now go to edit mode. Go to edit mode and press Ctrl R to make a loop cut and move your scroll wheel, and you will make a lot of loop cuts, and you basically want something like this. I think it's fine. So press left click twice, and now what you want to do is press 3 to be able to select the faces. And now basically you want to select one face and P, separate by selection, select the other face P, and you want to do this with all the faces, so you separate every square like this. Go to object mode and press right click and set origin to geometry, and you will have this. And now go to this icon up here and change from median point to individual origins and press S and make something like this. Maybe SX to make them longer. And there you have it. Now, while this is all selected, press Ctrl J, so this is just one object, and right click and set origin to geometry. Oh no, this is like this, so press Ctrl A, apply all transformations, set origin to geometry, and now we have this. Let's give it a material. I'm going to make a new material and let's name this red light. Make this obviously red, and you want to increase the emission, set the color to be the same as the base color and increase the emission to something like 5. You can't see that in this view, but later you will see, and this is fine. So later I will show you how to animate this line so it appears slowly, but for now let's set up a camera. I'm going to position myself roughly right here. I think it's fine, and press Shift A, camera, and now Control Alt 0, and then open a new window right here and press 0 here, and now go to the camera data properties and increase the passport to 1. We will be able to see this. Let's go to the object properties and put the Y rotation to 0, and yeah, I think this is fine. Let's move the rotation a little bit, RX twice and GX twice, and yeah, I think this is fine. I'm going to change this view to the render view, and also I'm going to click on this icon so we can see this better. So now I want to add some lights, so press Shift A and light, point light, and press 1 GZ somewhere right here. I think it's fine. So press GY, and yeah, I think this is fine. We will check this later. So the power will be 20,000 and the radius would be 3.5, and I think this is fine. Maybe go up a little bit and go a little bit further. Yeah, something like this is fine. And maybe 3.7 on the radius, maybe less of this, 17. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's increase it to 18,000. Yeah, I think that's fine. So now press 7 and Shift D, and I want this right here also. And I want this to be lower, so maybe 10. And yeah, I think this is fine. There, maybe 13,000. Nah, 10 is fine. And GX, GY, and yeah, I think this lighting is fine. So yeah, we have this. Let's make this red a little bit less saturated, somewhere right here, 0.8, and I think this is fine. So now we want to make an empty, Shift A, empty sphere, and press G, Y, and I want to see this empty, so GY, GX, and I want to position this roughly in the middle of the frame, somewhere right there. And yeah, now I want to select the camera and then go to the constraints, object constraints properties, and select here track 2 and select this eyedropper and select this empty that we did. And now the camera is going to follow the empty at all times, and that's super useful. Let's also make another empty, so Shift A, empty, and another sphere, and gx, gy, and we want this empty to be roughly where this guy is, and scale it down a little bit, gy. So yeah, this is going to control the depth of field. So I'm going to turn off this right here, and I'm going to select the camera and then go to the camera properties, and I'm going to be working with a 15mm camera, so don't worry. And I'm going to enable the depth of field, and I'm going to select this eyedropper and select this empty, and I'm going to lower this a lot, so to the minimum, and this is what we want. And the other thing that we want is to make an empty for the camera that is going to work like a second controller for the camera. So Shift S, cursor to selected, and Shift A, empty and sphere. And now let's select the camera and select the empty and Control P and object. And now every time I move the empty, the camera is going to move too. So basically that's it. Let's go to the frame 100, and I'm going to make a keyframe on the position of the camera, so all of this position, and then go to the frame 1, and okay, let's also go to frame 100, and make a keyframe here on the house location, here on the cedar location. I already did that, sorry. So now let's go to the frame 1 and press here G, Z and Control. And yeah, this is fine. Control, so we have this, and make a keyframe right here, and select both of these, press T and make this linear, and also go to the camera and lower it down a little bit and make it further, and make all these keyframes T and linear, and we will have, and also what we want is, in this keyframe we want to select the camera and go to the depth of field, and here in the f-stop we want to make a keyframe. And now let's go to the beginning, and let's put this to 2.8, so this is like the default setting. So make another keyframe here and make this linear also, so now it's going to be like this. Okay, so let me hide this for a second, and I'm going to tweak camera angle again to somewhere right here and make all of these keyframes. Yep, and now let's bring back the roof. We see this movement. So before the movement stops, so roughly at 80 frames, we want to make a keyframe here on this empty that controls where the camera is looking. So make a keyframe here and then move roughly to the frame 150 and press GY and GX. And we want this to be roughly right here. Make another keyframe. We also want to do the same with this empty that controls the depth of field. So let's make keyframes here and go to the frame 150 and go GX right here and GZ right here and make another keyframe. So now let's go back and select this empty that controls the camera movement. Make keyframes here, go to the frame 150, and basically you want to move these roughly right here, GX, GY, so yeah, roughly right here, maybe a little bit up, and this is fine. Let's make another keyframe, and now let's see the movement. So yeah, this is the movement, and now we want to make another window here like this, and then join these areas, and now go to the graph editor and press normalize here, and we want to select this empty and select this handle right here and GX and move it a little bit more so it starts more smoothly, and we want to do the same with the rest of the empties. So this top part, GX, and move it a little bit, not a lot, something like this. This is going to make the movement a little bit more slow. And maybe I also want to actually move the keyframes a little bit back. So G, and maybe I want the keyframe to be on the frame 70 maybe. And let's do the same with all the other keyframes, and this empty also. And let's see now if the movement is a little bit more smooth. And yeah, it is a little bit more smooth. I think I want this to start at frame 50. So yeah, this is a lot of tweaking because we want like a smooth movement. We don't want super hard transitions between every camera movement. So let's see what we have here. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so basically we want to go to the frame 130 or so and select the camera and make keyframes here, and then go to the frame 175 maybe. We will tweak this later, and press X twice, and move this a little bit, roughly right here, and make another keyframe. And I want to make this linear. So what we want here is basically so the camera never stops moving like this. Oh, okay, it's super good. So I want to move these keyframes to the frame 200 so the movement lasts a little bit longer. So let me see. And the camera never stops moving. And maybe I want like this last keyframe, so we move the camera a little bit more. Let's make another keyframe, and now let's see. So it's all about repeating and seeing how we can achieve the best smoothness. So now let's go to the frame 180, and we want to do like the same process as before. We want to create keyframes here on all the empties, on every empty right here, and go to the frame 250. Now let's select this big empty and press GX and GY, and we want this to be roughly right here where this guy is, and make here some keyframes. And let's make the same right here, GX, GY. Perfect. Let's make some keyframes, and now let's select this empty, press 7 and G, and we want this roughly right here, maybe GY like this. So this is fine. GX, yeah, somewhere right here. And now let's make another keyframe, and let's see if this is smooth. It's fine. Maybe here we want 175, and we want to move these keyframes, and we are also going to make them smoother. So let's select these and go to the graph editor, and let's select these right here, GX, and also these. I'm going to isolate the X location. I'm going to select this handle and GX and also move it a little bit. So we have this slow start, and let's do the same with all of these other keyframes. Let's select these. GX, and move this a little bit more, and let's see. Okay, so this is better. Yeah, it's better. Okay, let me see. Okay, maybe I want to move the last keyframe, maybe to this point, to the frame 270, and let's make the same. Let's do the same with all of the empties right here, like this. Now let's see if the movement is a little bit slower. Yeah. Okay, this is what we wanted. Let's go here to the frame 250, and we want to go to the camera again. Make keyframes here, go to the last keyframe and GX twice, and somewhere right here make another keyframe and press T and linear, and let's see. Yeah. Okay, so let's see the entire camera movement. This is good. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this keyframe and select this object right here. And basically what you want to do is press Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, let's make an empty, but let's make a cube, and then press GX and position that roughly right here, GX again, so yeah, roughly right there. Select this and go to the shader editor, select object here, and we have this basic material. And yeah, basically what you want to do is press Shift A, add a gradient texture, and add a color ramp, and select the gradient texture and press Ctrl T to make this. And if you can't do that, it's because you don't have this activated. So go here to Preferences, Add-ons, and look for the Node Wrangler add-on and check this, and then save Preferences. So now connect the gradient texture to the color ramp, to the factor, and the color to the alpha of this image. And here in this part, in the texture coordinate, we want to select this object part and connect this to the vector, and then here where it says object, press here on this eyedropper and go to this empty, the cube. So now let's go to the render view, and as you can see, we can't see this object, but if we go here and press GX, now it appears smoothly. So that's basically what we want. So let's select this again and change here this to the color ramp to constant, and now select this and make a keyframe on the location properties here. Go to the timeline, and now select this empty again, and let's go to the last keyframe of this empty. Select the cube empty here. Let's go back to this view and GX. Okay, I don't know what happened. Let me see. So I guess the constant doesn't work. Let me go back and select this linear again, and then GX, this GX. Okay, now it works. I don't know why it didn't work at the beginning. So okay, let's make another keyframe right here, and now let's go to the graph editor, select this and GX, and make this a little bit smoother. So now we can see that this happens at the same time that the camera is moving, so that's actually good. And now basically what we want is to go to this empty again and see where it starts moving again. And well, let's select this character right here. Let's go to the shader editor, and we want to make a copy of the material that he has, because I want to animate this character separately. So let's make a copy, and we have this. And now I want to give this the same material, the red skin 3, to all of his body. So let's go here, red skin 3. Okay, perfect. So now go to the alpha here and press I to make a keyframe. So we made a keyframe here. So now select this empty again and go to the last keyframe. And now select this right here. Go to the shader editor and lower the alpha to 0 and press I again to make another keyframe. So now what basically happened is that this character is going to disappear like this when the camera moves. So yeah, now you can't see the character. And we want to do the same with this line right here. So let's go again, go to this first keyframe, select the line, and as you can see, you can't do the same because we don't have this alpha value, but we have this white value. So you want to select this, and here where it says post, press I and then move to the next keyframe, select this again, and here lower this down to 0, and it's going to make this. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't what I wanted to do, sorry. Let's delete this keyframe, sorry. Basically what you want to animate is this right here, the color. So hover over this color and press I, and now go to the next keyframe and select this again, and now make this black and press I again. So making this black, it's going to basically disappear this, as you can see. So that's basically what happens. And now we want to go to the first keyframe right here and go to this guy, and there's no need to make like a copy of this material because this is the only guy using this material. So basically what you want to do is go into the alpha and lower it down and press I, and then go to the last keyframe of this empty, of this camera movement, and select this guy again and increase the alpha and press I again. So now this guy is actually going to appear when the camera movement is done. So yeah, I think that's everything. I won't make a preview here, it's going to crash. So yeah, I think this is fine. So we animated all of that. Okay, so now let's go to the rendering part. Basically, as I already told you, you want to go here to the output and select a folder, and then go here to render and render animation, and you will export all the frames, or all the 300 frames for this animation. And once you do that, you'll have something like this with all the frames of the animation. Now you want to go here, press here on the plus icon, video editing, and press here video editing, and you are going to be here. So go to the beginning of the timeline, press Shift A, image sequence, and go to the folder where you have all of the frames and press A, and here the start frame is going to be 1 and the end frame is going to be 300, and add image strip, and this is your video. I don't know why this happens, so this is super overexposed. So this is like some type of error of this project, because if I close this project, and that's what I'm going to do, and then I open another project and go to video editing, and let's make the end to 300, Shift A, image sequence A, and here the end is going to be 300, add image strip. Now it's not overexposed, as you can see. So yeah, I don't know why that happens, but that's fine. So now basically what you want to do is select the folder where you want your final animation to be exported, and select here change from PNG to FFmpeg video, and then go to encoding and change from Matroska to MPEG-4, and select here the output quality to be high quality. And then you go here to render and render animation, and I will see you in After Effects to make the last details. So basically here in After Effects you want to import your animation and make a comp with it. Just drag and drop. I'm going to lower the quality, and now press right click new and adjustment layer, and we want 2 adjustment layers, and the top one is going to be a vignette, and the other one is going to be a color correction. So I'm going to name this color. So now let's go here, and I'm going to apply the lumetri color effect. Go here to basic correction, and I'm going to decrease the temperature to -10, somewhere right here, and I'm going to increase the contrast to 15 and decrease the shadows to decrease the shadows to -10. And it's subtle, but we have this color correction, and it's a little bit more similar to what LEMMINO does on his videos. And then I'm going to apply a CC vignette effect, and the amount I'm going to set it up to 200 and the angle of view 40, and we will have this. Now you render this animation, and this is the final result. So if you like this video, you will probably like this one. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!